This past Monday, the players between 40 to 31 were just released on the NFL Top 100. And we all thought players should be higher, players that should be lower, and players that were just right. Now, let's just get started. At number 40, we had Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley definitely did have a great season with the Atlanta Falcons, and also he definitely was more of a late bloomer, and he also struggled a lot in pass coverage, so I really just don't see him being any higher or lower. I think 40th is just right. Then we have Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was a former All-Pro. Now, a lot of people do like Bobby Wagner. He has a lot of speed to him, but with Seattle playing more man than zone, he definitely kind of shied away a little bit, and I don't think he was as good, but he's still one of the dominant middle linebackers in the league. Then you have Fletcher Cox, who is tweaks away from having a J.J. Watt impact on his team. And that goes for the rest of the Eagles front seven up there. That Eagles front seven is just one step away from being the best front seven in the game so far. And I definitely do like where Fletcher Cox is placed. Then you got Aquib Talib, who should not be lower than Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters is not better than Aquib Talib. Aquib Talib was the defensive MVP candidate this season. And in my opinion, he's the second best cornerback in this game right now. And I think he should be at least the top 25. Then you got Tyreek Hill, who's basically in 2017 our version of Percy Harvin. I definitely like how Tyreek Hill plays. He's very dynamic. He's a very, very versatile player, and I definitely like his placing at number 36. Then you got J.J. Watt. Now, J.J. Watt only played 3 games this season, more like 2 and a quarter, with where he got injured in New England, and I think he should have been placed in the high 90s where Adrian Peterson was placed. I think that's a much better position to be placed. I think there's more deserving players that should be placed at number 35. Then you got Kam Chancellor. Now, Kam Chancellor is probably the most intimidating, strong safety in the league. But he's not the best safety in the league. And one thing for sure about Kam Chancellor is he struggles in coverage, and I really question him in the clutch moment. When it comes to coverage, the NFL Top 100 was talking about how he does well against coverage. Yeah, against like the bad tight ends in the league. When he faces like the good tight ends or the good players in the league, he doesn't do all that great. And I just really look at Kam Chancellor. Coverage is not a strong suit, and I definitely am not a huge fan of Kam Chancellor. Between Earl Thomas, Kam Chancellor, and Richard Sherman, he's the one guy that I think that's a little bit overrated. But when I look at him, yes, he's one of the best safeties in the league, but he is not a Troy Polamalu. He is not a Rodney Anderson. And I look at Kam Chancellor. Yes, he's exciting, but he isn't as good as what he seems to be hyped up as. Then you got Demarco Murray, who had a little bit of a revival with the Tennessee Titans. He definitely needs blocking. I don't think that is like a shame to him at all. I think there's some running backs in this league who do need blocking. I don't think that should mark his overall. I think it's just more of a skill type than it is more of a who's better or who's worse. Because some running backs do need blocking, but some running backs don't need blocking. It's just one of those things. Then you have Marcus Peters, who is definitely an up-and-coming quarterback. He definitely has potential, but I just don't see it. I just don't see him being this ranked, this high. In my opinion, he should be in the 50s. He is way too low. Or way too high, I mean. I'm just thinking that I should probably make an overrated video on him. I just might. He's definitely an up-and-coming guy, but I'm just not a huge fan. And then you got my guy, Matt Stafford, who, in my opinion, who was the 6th best quarterback this league. He played through a lot of tough games this year. This was a character year for him. A couple years ago, I saw him sliding before a 4th down conversion on a big 4th down to keep alive in the game. I think character-wise, he has improved much better. And also, I think whatever team gets him in the future, or hell, maybe in the Lions, he could be a Super Bowl winner. Now, when it comes to this, with the top 100, I'm not too happy, too satisfied with it. It's usually what my opinion of the top 100 is, and I sometimes agree with what players are up there. Sometimes I disagree. It's just what it works. And I'm definitely thinking about putting up who's going to be on the next list up there, who's going to be up between 30 to 21st. I'm thinking about making a video about that. Also, I'm thinking about running ads on my channel just so I could possibly just make some money right here, because money is very important. I know you guys don't really like ads too much, but I think money is definitely important for me as of right now. So when I look at this, peace out, guys.